Hey guys, this is Team Genetrix. I'm going to start this video off here with an apology to our viewers. We've been really busy with getting our decks all set up because Regionals is right around the corner for Minnesota here. So we've been really just focused on that, and we just really haven't had the time. We've been focusing on trading, and I don't know, just things haven't been really working out for posting videos. But we're starting since Regionals is right around the corner this Saturday, we are starting our segment here where we're all going to do deck profiles of our decks. So Genetrix will be posting, I think, about 5 new decks pretty soon here. So we kind of figured you guys would like that, and so that's what we'll be doing really soon here. We'll have 2 decks posted really soon, and I think the other 3 should be posted in a little bit. We're going to do some duels with them. We're going to do as much as we can for you guys, just for this segment. So, I have Joey here, and he's running his Mermails for Regionals, and he's going to show you his deck and how he plays it. And he's going to get started right now.
Alright, I run 2 Megalo. I imagine 3 is obviously a lot better because this deck needs this card, and this card runs amazingly with this deck, but I really could only get 2, and so I run 2. I run 2 of basically every Mermail in here except Gund and Dean, but this deck runs pretty well with 2. If I can get a 3rd, obviously I'll make room for the 3rd, but right now I just run it at 2. And 2 Abystius, I'll probably make room if I can get a 3rd. Every other Mermail probably will stay at 2, just because I don't enjoy more than 2. Because, like, with Abyss Lead, you obviously run 1. This is just for Abyss Squall targets, and I guess you could special summon it with Abyss Gun. Probably my favorite play is to summon Megalo with discarding this and Abyss Gun, and then you get Megalo and Abyss Lead out, and I don't know about you guys, but that is pretty scary to get out on a first turn or something. And so 2 Abyss Pikes, really good when you can get it out with the Abyss Lens and Abyss Squall or Abyss Sphere plays. You discard 1 water to add a level 3 water from your deck, and so it gets you your Undines and your infantry, or it gets you that, and your Undine and your Marksman. I was running 2 Abyss Guns, but I took 1 out just to see how it runs, and it runs pretty good. I really do not I like 2, but I drew it too much to where it became kind of dead most of the time. So I mean, with Abyss Pike and everything that can search out in this deck, I prefer 1, and this is for the Bahamut Shark Abyss Trite plays, and also you can add it with Pike, special summon it, and then special summon a level 3 Mermail and go into a rank 3, which is always nice. And for the Atlanteans, I run 3 Dragoons, best searcher of the deck. You can search practically the whole monster lineup other than a few cards, but it doesn't matter because you can search your Megalo, you can search your Divas, your Moon Glacia, and then all the other Atlanteans, which I run 3 Marksmen because I like normal summoning it and getting its effect off, and I also love the effect of discarding. And then I run 2 heavy infantries. 3 is a bit much. 1 I didn't really like because I rarely ever got it, so 2's fine with me. And for the synchro plays, 3 Deep Sea Diva. Some people run 2. I don't see why, because this card is too good. It baits out a lot of traps and scares your opponent into trying to get rid of it, and then you just go off with your Mermails, and if they don't get rid of it, you can get a lot of plays off with this card. It's unreal. And another broken card in the deck is 3 Genix Undines. This card literally sets up almost every play of the game. You want to get this early game and just you you basically get this early game, set up your plays, and then explode a few turns later, and your opponent's left in awe. Unfortunately, you have to get the 2 controllers in order to get his effect, and so that's the bummer. This is really just the main, like, horrible card of the deck. But there is ways to get rid of it with Allure of Darkness and Regeki Break, which I run both. And I mean, you could set it for defense or normal summon it and synchro, but why do that when you have Diva? And then the one Mulan Glacia to help with the OTK and its broken discard effect. The only downside is when it leaves the field, you skip your next battle phase, but by the time this thing's out, that should be game, hopefully. And then I run the staples, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, Monster Reborn, Avarice for recycling, same with Salvage. Just when you burn out of plays and you need more support, you play either of these and you should be able to explode again. For back row destruction, just 2 MSTs plus the heavy and all the Atlanteans. I mean, I was thinking about running 3, but I tried it and I drew 2 so much it became really annoying, so I just put it back to 2. Works fine, doesn't really seem to have a problem at 2. And so to get rid of controller and to add a tiny bit more consistency, I run Allure of Darkness. Pretty much a pot of greed with this deck, because the 1 dark that you banish does not affect the deck at all, so it's whatever. And then sometimes you draw the controller when you Allure of Darkness, and that gets annoying, but crap happens like that, and you have to live through it. And then for the traps, I run 3 Abyss Sphere, probably one of the best traps of the deck. It helps a lot when you're in a hole and you need help, and you just play this, get your Lind, and then you can just go off from there. So many plays with this card, and you really, I mean, granted you can't play spells, but that doesn't matter because you really only want to activate it during your opponent's turn. There's some times that I activate it on my turn, but that's really rare. It's only when I need a play and I can't do anything else. And then I run Abyss Squall for the defense and the exceed power this card has. Probably one of the best like special summon traps there is, because you can just target any three Mermails from your graveyard and special summon them. They can't attack and their effects are negated, but you just, what I do is I special summon 2 level 7s and then special summon Abyss Lind. And you can really go off from there by overlaying for Abyss Gaios or Big Eye, and then when Abyss Lind's destroyed, you can special summon one and just set up your field again with 1 card. For defense, I run 2 Fiendish Chains and a Regeki Break. I'm thinking about running either Torrential Tributes, the Solemn Duo, Breakthrough Skills, or a Mirror Force and a Torrential. I don't know yet. I'm going to see how this deck runs. It's 44 cards right now, and as you probably all know, a 53 card Mermail deck ran, so obviously they can get up high with deck number, but I kind of just I kind of like keeping it in a under 50, just because I think 50 is a bit much, even though it won. But I think that's main luck. And onto the extra deck, it's pretty simple. Gaichi and Zen mains just for defensive plays to stall the turn if you want to set up your plays, or if you have absolutely nothing to do. Abyss Trite for the Bahamut Shark plays. I mean, there have been times where I overlay into this, but you don't really want to ever do that. You just kind of want to overlay into Zen mains or Leviathan Dragon. This helps sometimes with the OTK, but it's really just like I said, if you want to hold out to set up a play, or to push, like keep attacking for 25 and soon beat down your opponent. Abyss Dweller for the mirror match and Dark Worlds and all the decks that activate in the grave. Bahamut Shark for the Abyss Trite, and also you can attach Dragoons to it, and then when you detach, it also gets an effect, which is ridiculous. 2 Abyss Gaios. I may, if I get a Big Eye, it's huge if there. I probably won't for a while, but I might take one out if I get a Big Eye. But This card is ridiculous. It stops your opponent dead in its tracks. They really can't do much other than if they get lucky, Dark Hole, or really any kind of spell or trap that gets rid of it, but it still causes your opponent to go in panic mode and try to get rid of it as fast as possible. And then for the synchros, I run Army Arm for the Deep Sea Diva, same with Catastor and Librarian. What I like doing is Librarian, then Army Arm, you draw one, equip, and you got 31 or 34 attack Librarian, which is pretty hard to get over in most situations. And for the Ice Barriers, the Lauren and Gungunir, just mainly to, if you have nothing to go to, they both are really good. This is super good when you have Abyss Sphere or any Atlanteans out, because you can just recycle them and then discard for Abyss Megalo or whatnot. And for the level 8s, I run a Scrap Dragon just to, I honestly have never gone into this, but it's just in case I need, like my opponent has a set that I'm scared, so I just pop one of my sets or something and then blow up theirs and attack. And then Stardust for safety if I have a big field and they have a huge back row or I feel a Dark Hole coming. I've gone through this many times. It helps a lot and kind of screws over your opponent's plans. For the side deck, I don't have it exactly where I want it, but it still works. For spells, there's literally 3 spells and then all the rest are traps. I'm looking for Air Orca. Right now I was substituting that for Lost Blue Breaker, but that doesn't really do the work. So Messenger of Peace, I kind of want a second one, because that card is ridiculous, especially against like Dino Rabbits and decks that need to attack, like Brotherhood of the Fire Fist and all those. And 2 Soul Taker, just also against Dino Rabbits and decks that summon big monsters that get in the way. 2 Threatening Roar, just stops your opponent for a turn. Really good against swarm decks like Wind-Ups, Mermails, Sams, anything really. And then Mind Crush, because now you can Mind Crush a lot of things this meta. Like you can Mind Crush a Megalo in the mirror match, you can Mind Crush a Abystius, you can, when they go for Pot of Duality, it's just a lot of things you can Mind Crush, it's crazy. And for when they side Defissures and Macro, you can run Imperial Iron Wall, which helps a lot. And it also helps against decks that need to banish. I mean, there's not much of those, but there's still quite a few that need their card banished. And for decks like Wind-Ups and Dino Rabbit and some 6 Sams, goes in match, really just to put a, like let's say they exceed into a lot. I know a lot of good exceeds are different attributes, so all your monsters are water, so you don't have to worry about just drawing any of them. And it just helps to stop your opponent, and it gives them one more card to worry about. And these are the 4 cards that I will take out if I get anything good. Right now I have Skill Drain and Dust Tornado. This, I tried. It's alright. Not the best. I know there's probably a lot more cards that are better than Skill Drain, but it still helps against a lot of decks that need their field presence to be known, and Skill Drain puts, like, with this deck, the only thing that Skill Drain really affects is Abyss Gaios and Deep Sea Diva and those cards, but it's whatever. And then the 2 Dust Tornado for also Soul Drain, Macrocosmos, back row that your opponent has set, just anything really. I'll probably take them out if I get like, I'm looking for another deck dev, so if I get a second deck dev, I'll probably take these out for them. And yeah, that is my Mermail deck that I just recently completed. I'm looking forward to playing it at regionals. I know the deck very well. I've playtested it probably over 50 times to 100 times. And so I hope you enjoyed. We'll be doing a lot more deck profiles of our teammates' decks that we're taking to regionals, and so look forward to that. And that is my Mermail deck. Team Genetrix out.